What you got in store for us this week, Anna?
Oh, we're gonna all become judges.
Love it. I've always wanted to,
I guess.
practice
I don't
law.
I'll
You'll
be the
see.
judge of that.
Thank you,
You'll
Justin.
see.
Also, we got Big Money. What is that? $1,500 in that jackpot. We'll play here in about 25 minutes. That's when we'll have you call in for round one. Because, of course, we play 2 rounds. So we'll play in in 25 minutes or so, and then an hour after that, and see if we can maybe we can have 2 winners today. That'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But right now, we're all winning because you get some free expert love advice from Kellie Raspberry. It's time for Love Letters to Kellie. This morning, sponsored by Worthy.
It is. You know, when you're ready to make big decisions about love, you ask me because I am the love expert. But when it comes to maybe selling some diamonds you're not wearing or luxury watches you no longer need or want, you need to partner with Worthy because that's the partner you can trust to get the most for those luxury items. So schedule your free, fully insured, fully secure pickup at no cost to you at worthy.com/kid. The gemologists at Worthy will evaluate your pieces, helping you understand their actual worth, but you set the reserve price you want. When the auction happens, if your price is met, you get paid. You get to approve the winning bid first, of course. And if your price is not met, you don't have to sell. They'll send the pieces back to you, still fully insured at no cost to you. And for a limited time, you get an extra $100 when your jewelry sells for over $1,500. Register at worthy.com/kid, worthy.com/KIDD.
Let's get it.
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie.
Dear Kellie, you are the love expert.
I am.
My boyfriend and I have been on and off for 2 years. He has a son, which I'm fine with, but I'm also very career-oriented, and I don't want any children of my own, and I was very upfront with him about that from the beginning. I'm not a mom, I'm not a housewife, and I work to get what I have and what I want, and he told me he was fine with that. Well, now it's become a problem where I'm not a housewife. I work too much. I care more about my dogs than I do him, according to him, and I'm not a mother figure. He's allowed to see his friends and drive hours to see them, but when I want to go back home to see mine, it's stupid, and he'll only give me an hour. Well, I recently did something I hate, and I went through his phone, and I found phone calls, video chats, and pictures of his son being sent to his ex-wife conveniently when his son's phone got shut off. But I wasn't supposed to be upset about it, especially since she signed the rights away to her son. My family's worried for me, and I'm mentally exhausted. I feel this relationship is very one-sided, and he says I put forth no effort and wants to know why I won't move in with him. When I bring up issues that I have with him, he talks over me and he doesn't listen, and I have to change and fix things he's doing nothing wrong. I don't know what to do, Kellie. I feel the breakup is coming, and as much as I do love him, would it be for the best? Please help between
Yes.
a rock and a hard place.
This is time to move on. This is not working for anyone involved.
No, man.
A lot of people will say they're okay with certain things at the beginning of the relationship because they've got all the endorphins going and everything's, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so fun. No, I don't care if you don't want children. I'm cool with that. But then once the dust settles and the butterflies die down, you're like, oh, I really do want children. And you'll say anything in the beginning stages of a relationship.
But you like
right?
them.
We all get along. Everything you say is so funny. Yeah, I'm willing to try new things. I'm adventurous. Right?
I know.
Look at me as a perfect example. Yeah, my husband called me out. Let me just peek behind the kimono. Called me out for my negativity. What?
Hold on.
Whoa.
Yes.
Alan
he did.
Evans,
No.
the man who said
You're
you love
negative?
Your
No.
positivity the most?
Yeah.
Wow.
Called me out.
The audacity.
My
Turns that table.
negativity.
My man.
Who knew you had such?
It took a while.
audacity.
It took a while before I
That's what I'm
started
saying.
showing.
Welcome back, Alan. Welcome back.
So here's
Welcome
the
back,
thing.
Kellie.
But I will go back to the
She's
thing
been
where
here.
you said you went through his phone and caught him texting pictures of and videos of the child to the mother. Why would you be mad at that? I would celebrate that they have a healthy relationship.
Doesn't that make him a good person?
I applaud that. And if you're going to be the woman that's going to be mad that he communicates with the baby's mother and keeps things happy and something good happens at your house and he shares that with the mom, even if she signed away every right, because sometimes the roles are reversed. The woman raises the kid and she reaches out to the dad and shares videos.
She had regrets.
And if you're going to have a problem with that, that's just one thing. This whole relationship is set up for failure. Spare yourself any more drama, tears, stress over it. You've already
move
put
on.
2 years in. Are you going to wait another 2 more years to decide? You already know this isn't working.
Yeah.
It's not. So one of you just has to pull the plug and be done with it.
What are you trying to say?
You're not right for each
What are you
other.
trying to say?
No,
And
this
that's
is
okay.
not a match.
And
It's
that's
not
okay.
a match.
Get out, girl.
Yeah. It's better for him and for you.
Yeah.
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie. It's a little different one here, Kellie. Dear Kellie, you're the love expert.
I am.
My wife and I have been married 8 years. My wife is the absolute best when she's at her best. When she's not her best, she's a total dud. She's a special education teacher. When she comes home, she, in her words, has nothing left to give. She needs silence. She won't say much of anything to me the entire week because she's recovering from all of the noise and chaos all day in the classroom. Thursdays after work, she starts to resemble my favorite woman in the world. I get her fully back on Friday and Saturday. That's it. She uses all of Sundays to mentally and emotionally prepare for the week ahead. I know her job is tremendously taxing, and I'm shocked by the majority of the little bit she shares with me. I get why she's exhausted, but I want more of my wife more of the time. I'm always waiting for the next weekend or the next holiday so I can have her back, even if it's just for a few days. I love that she's a giving, hardworking person, but I get tired of giving what I get tired of her giving what she has to give to her students and not to me. I guess my question is, do you think this is sustainable for me to get my wife and just have her percentage of the time, or should I tell her it's time to get a job that she can do without sacrificing everything she has to give? That's from Dylan.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, just like, again, it's the role reversal.
Yeah,
a lot of times
yeah.
this is the woman writing in about her husband coming home grumpy, needs time to decompress. Don't bring the kids around me. I need 30 minutes because it is a high-stress job. It's just role reversal again.
Yep.
And if this is truly the case, and if you have expressed it to her, just express to her in a very matter-of-fact, non-confrontational way,
Sounds
like you
like
did
it.
in this letter,
Sounds like it, yeah.
that this is affecting our relationship. This is what's happening, and it's not healthy nor sustainable. I don't know how much longer she wants to devote to her career. Maybe she's got an exit strategy, maybe she doesn't. But perhaps there is a way she could still work in the field that she loves, but not be so completely
Immersed.
And drained.
immersed and sapped by it. Is
Yeah.
there a way she could maybe do it moving forward on a part-time basis? Is there a way she could do a job share program? Could they bring, I know a lot of school budgets don't have it, and I'm talking out of my butt here, but we're just spitballing. But is there a way that she could have, another teacher come in and help, intern or something of that nature? But obviously it's a problem that needs to be addressed, and together y'all could hopefully come up with a solution.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's not in the day-to-day classroom physical one-on-one stuff. Maybe she could help kids with special needs as an advocate, like use her talents in other ways that isn't necessarily face-to-face with these kids every day. I don't know. You have to discuss the possibilities there. But it is a conversation you need to have.
And it's funny that you bring up this letter out because my wife has been helping at the school the last couple of days, like from the beginning to the end of the school day, and she's come home both days going, I don't know how teachers do this.
It's awful.
It is.
I would help volunteer for some after-school programs.
It is a lot of work for
It
these
is
teachers.
exhausting,
Yeah.
especially after-school programs where the kids are
Yeah.
spent and exhausted and acting out, and these teachers are having to rein it in. I saw some things I was just horrified by.
I know.
But another thing she could do is maybe, as the teacher, I don't know if this is possible and what's allowed in your school, but if you sent a letter or an email out to all the parents of the special needs kids in that class and say, look, this is a lot, and I would like to have a rotating volunteer basis.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Where a parent can come in
Take a little brunt.
Help out a
and
little
help.
bit.
And every day you can fill your calendar, the school day, with a volunteer from the parents. No money's being spent by the school district.
Yeah.
And then the parents will see what you're dealing with, and they might be like,
Yeah.
whoa.
little more, yeah.
It's very eye-opening.
Very eye-opening.
So maybe that's another possibility. Get parent volunteers
That's a
involved.
good idea.
There's some solutions here, but y'all need to discuss them together, because not addressing it, it's just going to progressively get worse.
Boom.
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie.
Dear Kellie, you are the love expert.
I am.
I'm 25 and I have been single for over a year, and none of my relationships have lasted over 5 months. And I've only been in 3 actual relationships. These days, I've started to feel pressure from family and just plain social media on finding a partner. I experienced nothing but toxic relationships my entire childhood and even into my young adult years. Every relationship I've witnessed has exposed me to toxic people and their toxic traits like cheating, drama, etc. So I have preferred to stay single. I'm not a we can work it out type of person. I'm more of a I'm not going to entertain this and I'm going to cut it off type of gal. I'm used to being alone and not sharing my space and personal life, but I feel like I'm not And I feel like I'm not in a good place to be in a relationship, but I'll admit there are times when I do feel alone and I wish to have a serious long-term partner to snuggle up against or talk to. But I feel like the longer I stay single, the harder it will be to find an ideal partner. Kellie, is it me who needs to tone it down? Am I too high maintenance? Should I settle, or should I accept that I'll probably stay single for the rest of my life?
No, I don't think anybody should ever settle. But here's the thing you have to look at. You're in your 20s, and this is a big decade of transition and figuring out what you want and who you are. But you're saying that you've been exposed to all these toxic relationships, and every relationship you have has had so far out of the 3 that's only lasted the most 5 months is toxic. You might need to take a look at yourself and what you have been conditioned to believe relationships look like, like if a guy shows one little thing that triggers something in you, you're like, I'm done, cutting it off. This is going to be a toxic relationship. Where maybe somebody just had a bad day, and you have to learn how to have disagreements in a relationship. You have to learn how to fight healthy. These are all parts of a healthy relationship. You're not going to get along 100% of the time. You're going to get to a day where your husband turns around and says, you are negative all the time. And you got to learn how to get through that, JC. I'm just saying.
Not all the time.
So it might be something that you need to look into, maybe with a therapist. And don't say you can't afford it. There's all these options. Churches offer free therapy. There's a way to get it. But there's also something about you, like if you're cutting somebody off if they do one thing that's wrong, and you're like toxic. That's not fair. Yeah. So maybe there is something there that you need to explore.
Is it cool?
I'm not saying that and a lot of people. At 25, you're already being pressured by your family. That's
some family.
That seems a little. I don't know.
Yeah.
That just seems a little young for them to start putting that kind of pressure on somebody. Yeah, sure. You could also be paranoid. I don't know what's really going on.
Is it cool for her to write down toxic traits that she doesn't want? Like, let's say he shows aggressiveness. He shows that he might be abusive. But then there's traits that might turn her off, like he stood up for himself and didn't back down, and she might take that. When you're in
your 20s, your list of what you're looking for in a partner, a man or a woman, whatever, in your 20s, it looks very different than the list you put together when you're single in your 30s, and way different than the list you want in your 40s. Because when you're in your 20s, you can say, never been married before, no kids. Has
Good
to be
job.
6'2", has to work out every day. Yeah. He has to be a vegetarian. And then when you're in your 30s, you're like, I don't care if he smokes.
Man.
I don't care if he's had 5 babies by 5 different mamas. It depends on where you are in your life. Your list changes.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Love letters.
Shout out.
Love letters to Kellie. Dear Kellie, you are the love expert.
I am.
My name is Kellie, and I'm 15 years old. I've been dating this boy for almost 2 years now. There's no issue between us, but in December, I got my best friend Red with my boyfriend's best friend, Mason. A day before Valentine's Day, Mason dumped my best friend and said it was so he could focus more on school. He also told her that they'd get back together in the summer. But then he started dating another girl, and the only reason my friend Red knows about it is because I told her. Anyway, I've tried to help her move on, but she can't get over him. They still talk to each other, and he's the only one that can tell her that they won't get back together. But he won't. I'm tired of seeing her so obsessed with him. He is so in love with this other girl. And I told Red that because all she ever does is talk about Mason. Then she got an attitude with me. I'm trying to help her move on, but I'm running out of ways to help her. Do you have any ideas or ways I could help her get over this boy that clearly doesn't like her?
No. He told her what he needed to say to get out of the relationship because it made it easy on him. Like, I'm going to break up with you for now, but we'll get back together later, because people don't like to hurt other people's feelings. And you say whatever you can to get out of that moment, whether it's a bald-faced lie. Is it bold-faced or bald-faced?
I don't know.
Bold.
Bold-faced?
I think it's bold-faced, but then I just found out that it's hard as hail and not hard as hell.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's what I found out recently.
You're
Really?
kidding.
I don't think that's
No.
true.
Somebody wrote that down as hard as hail.
No way.
No.
That's
Hail
the person
drops.
that doesn't like to say H-E double hockey stick.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Kelly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
True.
Hail.
It's hell. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
My point is, girls, I'm not saying, but girls at 15, 16, 17, the drama is kind of fun, right? You're fueling the drama. You just don't have to participate in it. She knows. What you could do, you've already introduced her to this one boy. Find another boy to introduce her to. Get her mind off of it. We're moving into summer. Gonna have a summer fling.
Yep.
I mean, but there's nothing you can do to convince her otherwise because she doesn't have anybody else to focus on.
Yeah.
The minute another boy turns her head, done.
You'll be free.
She's over it.
Done.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. So why don't you find another boy?
Yes.
you
Hot
go.
boy summer.
Yeah.
Hot boy summer.
There you go.
Hot girl summer.